very, very, very aware of this song. I was like, do I need to listen to anymore? And just about as I turned it off, that's when the came into it.
Oh boy, what another fun-packed show we have for everybody today. First off, want to thank everybody who's watching the live feed right now over on Facebook and Twitch. Thank you all. I already see a bunch of our friends starting to check in. And if you'd like to participate with us live on the show, please tune in on Monday mornings at 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook and Twitch. And welcome to all of you who are listening to the audio version of this show right now, which is available anywhere you get podcasts. You are listening to the Song Swap Showdown, and I am one of your hosts, Chris Vaglio, and I am joined by my amazing and lovely co-host, Miss Amanda Sharp. Amanda, how are you?
Good morning, Chris Vaglio, and I am doing so good. I love our Monday mornings because we do this, so I am just so pumped to dive in today's show and engage with our listeners. It's just the best way to start a week.
Absolutely. This is the number one way to start your work week. So if you have the opportunity to catch us live, please do, because we have a lot of fun. But of course, we know not everybody can join us at the time of 8:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, definitely, if you could check out the replays, video replays are over on YouTube, and of course, audio versions wherever you get podcasts. If this is your first time joining us on the if this is your first time joining us on the Song Swap Showdown, here is how the show typically works, is that Amanda and I each share 3 songs with one another that we don't think the other has heard before, and then we rate those songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a complete dumpster fire of a song and 5 being heavenly music to our ears. So, and that's it. That's the show. So if you like to listen to 2 friends share songs with each other that we don't think the other's heard before and rate those songs and talk about them, this is the show for you. Amanda Sharp, what are we doing today? What is today's theme?
Today's theme is we are doing cover songs, our favorite cover songs that we feel may be better than the originals. And we might ruffle a couple feathers with some of our choices, but I think this is a fun show, and I'm looking forward to it. So cover songs today, we each are picking 3. And Chris, indulge us with, just in case a few of our listeners don't know, what is a cover song?
So the definition of a cover song is when another artist takes an existing song and does their version of that song. That is a cover song. So if you've been to any bar in America or the world, you'll usually hear a cover band playing other people's songs. And you even get into like other tribute acts too. Like you have bands that are just like a tribute act for a certain band, like Kiss or AC/DC. And I mean, it goes across all genres, actually. Like you could go wherever you're located, wherever your local bar is, there is going to be a band that shows up that plays a specific genre of music. So if you've ever been out, you'll hear them. But yeah, on the radio and on Spotify and all that, sometimes our favorite artists will cover a version of a very popular song and do their own version of it, which I will say right now, more than ever, in the world of TikTok, actually, cover songs have become a really huge way for artists to get discovered and blow up. So I would say that's even more on the radar, even more so now than ever. Mm-hmm. But, oftentimes we get into situations where the cover version, in some people's opinion, is better than the original. I think a lot of people think that with like an artist like Bob Dylan, like a lot of his songs that he wrote and recorded tend to be better versions by other artists. You know, like Knocking on Heaven's Door is a much better Eric Clapton and Guns N' Roses version, I think, than the original version. So, you know, you could go on debating about this forever and ever, you know, hence why this version of the show, we are sharing cover songs that we really like and sharing with each other to see what we think about them.
You got it.
We have got a great selection. Let's dive in. Let's get going. Amanda Sharp, who's going first today?
I'll go first. I'm going to dive right into yours.
All right, let's go.
Okay, this is going to be controversial.
I know it is.
All right, but it might not be because of the way you think it might be. I just don't dig this song at all.
Ever?
Ever.
Not even
the
with Kelly Clarkson version.
No.
That is a little controversial.
I think so. It's never hit the mark for me. I don't know what it is about this song that like pushes buttons that I don't really enjoy.
Wow.
What do you like? Let's go through therapy here. What could cause this?
Well, I'm just gonna say you can relate to the song and it brings up some bad memories. I don't know. Like I feel like this song, if this song's that much of a trigger for you, then something happened.
It just seems so aggressive.
Well, it is an aggressive song. I mean, you know.
Like, I don't know. It's like, let's take a knife and stab someone. Like, listen, you didn't only have bad times with a person.
Right.
There's no relationship that was only bad times. Otherwise, you would have never gotten hooked up.
I love this line, though. How can I put it? You put me on. I even fell for the stupid love song. Like, she, you know, Kelly Clarkson's pissed. And then I love like that Day to Remember makes it even more angry. And then you got tricked. And we all know how much Amanda hates being tricked.
Listen, I have to say, I almost was like, I've heard this song enough. And I almost turned it off just listening to it once because I'm very familiar with the Kelly Clarkson version because I played it
Of course you are.
And over and over. Like there was no break from it.
Yeah.
I was very, very, very aware of this song. I was like, you know, do I need to listen to anymore? And just about as I turned it off, that's when the came into it.
The Cookie Monster vocals came in.
Cookie Monster vocals came in, and all I can think when I hear those Cookie Monster vocals is there's no way his throat does not hurt after he sings these songs. They're not going to have good voices at like 60.
And I just shared with you over the weekend
oh my gosh, yes, you did.
The collab, which I bet you were shocked about because you got even now country artists fooling you and collabing with, you know, Jeremy from you know, A Day to Remember. And not only just any country artist, but one of the ones that writes all the hit songs for everybody. Like, listen, do I like this version better? I'm going to say probably. Okay.
All right. So here I'm conflicted with my rating, though, because I don't like this song, but I like this version of the song I don't like better. So did I want to rate it because I just don't like the song in general? Or is this really about rating it in comparison to the original? Right. So I would say I would probably, no offense to Kelly Clarkson, there's plenty of other songs that I like. She's the original American Idol. Like, I get you. Right. I like you.
I get you.
Yeah, I get you. I really don't. Like, I know nothing about her lifestyle or life due to fame. I don't get anything about her. Not in a bad way. I just am not at that level. Wow, I speak arrogantly sometimes. Really, I get you. No, I don't. No.
Or I'll do this.
There you go. That's where...
That would work.
That's really fitting.
Hit the wrong pot there.
But the wah, 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 like, it's a double whammy, right? I deserve that. So I feel like just the song in general is a one record. I'm like, it's...
So the original version of the song you're giving the OG version is a one record?
A one record.
Oh my God.
No, I feel like let the hate happen.
You have not given a one record I don't know. I can't even remember the last time. You didn't even give the Misfits a 1 record.
No, because I was like, oh, that's someone's baby. They at least deserve it too.
Kelly Clarkson, less than the Misfits greater than Kelly Clarkson
for this song.
Wow, for this song.
Sorry,
but okay. So now the version of this song.
So this particular version of the song I do not like, though. I wanted to rate fairly. I'm going to give it for the surprise and a little creative. They took it up a notch. I'm going to be polite and say it squeaks by with 3 records, but squeaks by.
Well, it's not really 5 records.
At a 5 record, but based on our discussion and how way this went crazy, that's appropriate.
But to go from a 1 record for the original song to a 3 see, this is what I'm talking about. Cover versions sometimes make the song better, and in this case, A Day to Remember made a song that you do not like into a song that you
can tolerate.
And if it came on the radio, you would leave it on.
I would leave it on.
You wouldn't skip it.
No.
Even the Cookie Monster part.
Even, I giggled at the Cookie Monster part. I'm not as shocked.
It's funny, like
anymore. Yeah,
that's also the funny part of the song is the fact that like they made it into like an easy chorus song where it was like they punked it up, they made it a little more aggressive, and then he comes in with the Cookie Monster. It like makes it funny, like.
And I really almost just was like, I've heard enough. I know this song well enough, and I was like, 3 records. But yeah. I'm so glad I didn't give up.
I am glad you didn't give up either.
Because I would have not heard the Cookie Monster.
So some of our friends checking in here. Mark Ronick, Amanda's taste continues to surprise me. Mark, I am with you on that because I, in 1,000 billion light years, would never have thought that Amanda would not like the original version. A Kelly Clarkson song, by the way, of Since You've Been Gone. So there's some serious triggers there for Amanda with that song, which I've just discovered.
Nasty. Like, you don't got to be that mean.
John Piker coming in. The Glee cover of Smooth Criminal was fire.
Great. I agree. Yeah.
And then I believe this is my first 1 record I've ever heard. Fork Boy, check it in, Mr. Tony Donato. Wow, I can't even remember the last time you gave something 1 record. I don't. Well, and we're talking about the original version, by the way. So I just want to be clear.
Yes.
A Day to Remember version of Since You've Been Gone for the official stat keepers out there gets 3 records, right? But the original Kelly Clarkson version gets 1. This is amazing. This is truly amazing. we could just stop doing the rest of the show right
now. And scene.
And thanks everybody for listening to Song Swap Showdown. This is our show.
We broke the internet today.
I think we just broke the internet.
And I don't have any other ratings on the original outside of this one.
Okay. All right.
I just needed to have that discussion. So I was eager to go first, so thank you for that space.
You are welcome. And so, and once again, if anybody wants to participate in any of these things, because believe me, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of posts going on in our Facebook group at the Show Swap Showdown backstage group. Join it. Use the link in the show notes below or in the video description below because we do have a post going on and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other posts coming out of this. So jump in that group so you can participate in the lunacy that happens in that group. And last comment before we move on. In your face, Clarkson.
And I like you, Kelly. I really do. This, it's just not a great song.
Just not a great song for according to Amanda, it's not a great song. See, and I actually really like the Kelly Clarkson version because I was like, when that came out, I was like, whoa, look at Kelly Clarkson belting it out, So anyway.
And she is very talented. Very, very talented.
She is. All right. Well, very good. We're having a lot of fun here right out of the gate with song number 1. All right. So your first song to me, I think is way less controversial, which is
I would hope.
Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. And I would say, I'm not going to say I was shocked that you put this on the list, but I didn't expect you to even know this song.
Look at me surprising the world today.
Like, it was like a Pearl Jam song, but the thing is, then I get it because it's a cover and it's like, it's in Amanda's lane, so. Because I know you don't normally listen to any other Pearl Jam, I don't think.
No.
Right,
no.
I was going to say, you're not a closet Pearl Jam fan, but I'm just discovering now.
Not at all.
But I remember when this came out, man, they played this on the radio incessantly.
That's the only reason I really know it.
That is the reason why you know, because it was on pop radio.
Yeah, I live under a rock. However, you had to have been like deep in a tunnel under a rock to never have heard this song before.
I would agree. I mean, it was everywhere. It was everywhere. So, little history about the song, because it is a cover song. So, Amanda, did you know who originally did the song?
I don't, and I should know.
So there's a really interesting story about this song, and you know, and I actually, when it had come out, I had no idea. So it's kind of cool to hear about this. So this song was originally a hit song for J. Frank Wilson and the Cavaliers in 1964. Their version of the song went to number 2 in the U.S. And that was actually, so the Pearl Jam version, let me rephrase this a little bit because the way I wrote this down was wrong. So this was a hit for J. Frank and the Cavaliers in 1964. The Pearl Jam version went to number 2 in the U.S., and it was only held off by If You Had My Love by Jennifer Lopez.
Ooh, fair.
You probably know that song.
Of course.
Of course you do. You know Jennifer Lopez. So interesting story about this is that lead singer Eddie Vedder came across this song when he found a record in an antique store in Seattle before a show. He bought it and stayed up all night listening to it. He took it to the band, and they played it throughout the summer on their 1998 tour. Pearl Jam recorded this at a sound check and released it as a signal to their fan club, who often get songs that are unavailable to the public. After a while, radio stations got copies and started playing it. By the spring of 1999, it was getting a lot of airplay and becoming a hit, even though it was not released as a single or available on an album. And so this was released in 1999 and charted to number 2, as I said, on the U.S. singles chart, and charted number 42 in the UK. And this all comes courtesy from songfacts.com. So,
songfacts.com.
Really interesting, right?
I love that. He was just, taking a stroll in a vintage,
I love it.
Antique store. I like that. I dig that. I like it even more now.
So Dave Mattingly checking in. I've never liked Pearl Jam, especially Last Kiss, since I love the original so much. Well,
sorry, Dave.
Sorry, Dave. We've got Sean Dustin checking in with "Hey, you two." Hey, Sean, what's up? And Tony, this is the Pearl Jam song you put on back in the day when you wanted to try your moves on a new lady.
You are not wrong. What?
What?
Well, I mean, these things happen.
Wow, Amanda Sharp. Now I know why this song made the list.
Now I know. Though. That's a great
good
version.
Song, but there's a story behind this. I imagine. We'll get the story one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
Maybe that'll be paid content that we do someday.
Maybe. Was this a song that came on in a hardware store that you worked at?
Yes, it was.
I knew it.
It absolutely was.
I can picture Amanda in a hardware store, kind of swaying and dancing. As she's pricing out the hammers, screwdrivers, the
and
drills.
Hang. Price and hang.
That's Amanda Sharp. It's so great.
And I would whistle all the time.
You whistle. All right. So my rating on this song, right? So 1 to 5 records on Last Kiss. Yeah. I actually really like the song, and I didn't even know who the original artist was until I actually did which shame on me. I should have done it back in the day. Never did it. And I really do like and I urge everybody to go check out the J. Frank Wilson song version, the original version of this, because it is really good. Actually, I'll play a little sample of it as we're going here. But I really dig the original version of this song. I think it's got a cool bass line. It's good.
Well, where, oh, where can my baby be?
I like it.
I don't feel like the music matches up with the voice.
Right.
So I don't know.
Well, I like it.
It's very clean and
clear. But I like that Pearl Jam kind of did their version of it. And so I highly, though, recommend going and checking out that version of the song. However, so I'm going to give it a rating. I'm going to give it 4 records because I think it's a really cool version of the song. I enjoy it. I don't skip that song when it comes on. I still really enjoy it. And the thing is, I have a love hate. The first Pearl Jam record, the first Pearl Jam record, 10, is honestly, in my opinion, I love it. It's one of my favorite records. I think it's a perfect record. I think Versus is an 80% pretty solid record, and then Vitology is like, I don't know, 30-40%, and then after that I stopped like even being a Pearl Jam fan. But I'll tell you, those first few records for me, especially 10 and great. I mean, great record. So I was an early on Pearl Jam fan, and then kind of,
I like how you're like, and then I just stopped.
I was like, I don't like these songs. I don't. But then this came out like a little later on, and I was like, I really like this cover. It's cool. They also do a really cool cover of Sonic Reducer, by the way, which almost I put on, but I didn't. We'll save that for the covers version part 2.
We could do, and let's be clear, we could do 1,000 of these episodes and still only scrape the surface.
Yeah.
And I had to try really hard to not put an Elvis or Dolly on this episode because I feel like I've talked so much about them in the last few episodes.
Well, I really thought I was getting a Dolly or Elvis cover song, which is easy to do because I mean Elvis did tons and tons of, so did Dolly. I mean, and they're great at taking songs and like they do awesome covers. They do. I mean, even the Beatles, tons and tons of cover songs. Like I mean, the first 3-4 Beatles records are loaded with like standards. It's. And so it is easy to dive into those. But once again, I wanted to sort of like, for me, I wanted to make sure I gave you sort of like versions that were a little unique to the band and, mix it up a little bit than going sort of like the traditional route of like cover songs. Agreed. So with that being said, my 4 record rating stands.
I like it.
Please mark it in the book. whatever the book is. Joe and Justin, I used to love Pearl Jam too. Yeah, I agree. I think the first few records were great. Just have not kept up with them. Not really down with them. Fork Boy, 100% agree. And the Coolies have a whole album of nice, Dave. Yeah, and the Coolies have a whole album of Simon and Garfunkel. I will have to check that out.
Love Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah, have to check that out. All right, Amanda, my second song to you. I have high hopes for you on this one.
Don't
let me down.
Eileen. Woo! You're muted. There we go. Poor Chris muted to talk and he cut off our music. It's all right. I love the energy on this one.
You gotta love ska. I turned you into a ska fan.
You did. And my Benny Capal that comes in to the equation when I talk, he has a ska band.
Oh, he does?
He does.
So here's what we're going to do. Everybody listening?
I'm listening.
So you can
listening.
Hold us all accountable.
Yeah.
Please let me know when Benny is playing in your area because that'll be the weekend I come in and visit.
Okay.
And then you and I meet in person for the first time because it's only been 3 years now. 2.5.
I know,
We've never met in person.
I like it.
So.
We might do something for Christmas tonight.
What?
Woo! Come on, Eileen. Woo!
I mean, come on.
The original is fine. I really like the original too.
And I think that this is a good, like, especially for a ska band because Dexy's Midnight Runners version is, it's not a ska song, but it's got the
flair.
Feel. Yeah.
It's got pop. It's got happiness. You can't help but do something with this song when it comes out.
Yeah.
I don't how do you dance to this? Show me the appropriate way to dance to Come On Eileen.
The ska version?
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like,
my body's a little confused with the beat, what to do.
It's hard because it's like you gotta be standing up, but it's like the skank, like they call it the skank, like skanking, like it's like I don't know. It's hard to do when I'm like sitting down, but
I have to do a skank.
It's called the skank, like it's the ska skank, like it's a whole like thing. I have to show you videos on YouTube.
So
Tony Forkboy knows what I'm talking about, and so does Dave Mattingly.
So they could actually say, "Look at Amanda,
she's skanking it. She's skanking to the rhythm, skanking to the beat."
I don't know if I can handle that.
That's the ska dance. It's like skanking. It's not in the other sense of the word that you're thinking.
Maybe I'll bless y'all with a reel of me skanking. I don't really know.
Oh my God, please do.
Would do to my body and to what
well,
song.
You know what? You and I could both do a skanking. We'll do a Come On Eileen where we're both skanking to the rhythm, skanking to the beat.
I'm gonna have to do a little research, and I will try my best because y'all know my shoulder bop's about as good as Amanda has.
It's kind of like a little like of a hop, and like you'll see it. It's like you feel it to the beat, so it's like obviously to the rhythm.
To the rhythm of the beat. Okay, yeah. So I'm up for skanking to Come On Eileen. I'm up for the challenge.
Say Ferris.
So to say Ferris. I really like this version. I really, again, don't dislike the original, but this just took it up a little bit.
Right.
It's really such a toe tapper.
It's great.
Is toe tapping and skanking?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean,
and I probably would say, I think I may like this version a little bit better.
I thought you would.
I
thought you would like this version better because of the high energy and the vibes.
It's more updated a little bit. Maybe updated's the wrong word, but it really kind of just took it to the Amanda level
level of updatedness.
Yeah. So I really liked it. So with that being said, and I will promise everyone I'm going to learn to skank. Then I'm going to give this
skank it to the
4 records.
4 records.
4 records.
For Say Ferris's version of Come On Eileen.
Come On Eileen.
Now, what would you give the original version, the Dexy Midnight Runners version of the song?
I would say not 4, probably more like a 3.5. It's not a 3, probably 3.5er.
Okay, 3.5er for the original.
What do you think? If you had to rate the original.
It's tough because it's like listen, you're a product of the 80s too, and like MTV, and like having that on all the time on MTV. I mean, remember, Come On Eileen was like a staple hit, like video hit on MTV at the time. So I really do enjoy that song, but I think I've heard it so many times in my life that I'm a little burnt out on it. Sure. Although whenever I hear that and the fiddles start going, I'm kind of like, oh, it's a hat, But the Say Ferris version, I feel like, is the superior version of the song. I really do. I feel like they took that song, which was good, and made it better in my eyes. If you like ska, if you don't like ska, then you probably won't like this version, because I know there's some people that cannot stand ska, and I understand it. I like ska a lot, so I like that they took a version that was kind of borderline ska already and made it more ska.
I dig it. Man, we've got the comments coming in on today's episode.
They are
very opinionated about our covers.
They are. I love it. So Fork Boy, Tony Donato. For country, my favorite will always be Christian Kane, Luckenbach, Texas, from Waylon Jennings. All right. All right. And then, Amanda, you can do it. A Snow Globe Cocktail, and you got this. For the skanking reel.
Cheers.
Yeah. And Randall checking in with, I would like to buy a house in Michigan and fill it with LPs. Well, it just happened that a Michigan realtor. So
I can help you with that, my friend Randall.
That'll be our LP house.
oh, it's like our clubhouse.
Yes, it's a for real clubhouse. Yes. It's a for real clubhouse. And especially when you date an Eileen.
I like it.
So 4 records, good. I like that rating. I think that's good. And I like that too. I really enjoy this version of the song. And this was actually my first introduction into Say Ferris. And I really love Say Ferris. I think they're great. They're an awesome band. Monique Powell has a sick voice, as you could tell. So if you're looking for some cool ska to check out Say Ferris, because they are a cool band. All right. So your second song to me, and this was actually a really surprise. Like, not in the fact that you sent me this song, but just the version of the song was surprising to me. So this is a song by Lauren Daigle called Don't Dream It's Over. It's the Crowded House song made famous by Crowded House, which was a huge hit. All over MTV. Actually, the original version of this song reached number 2 on the US charts in 1986. But I really love her kind of jazzy, torchy version of the song, This was recorded for Spotify sessions. I dig this version. I actually watched a couple videos, which I'll post in our Facebook group, where she did this song live on Sirius XM, and then also I think on a Elvis and Duran show, and kills it. Live version, kills it. Her voice is great. I know Lauren Daigle's made some appearances on the show before, as far as songs, but I really dig this version of the song. I think it's a cool, like, kind of this bossa nova, like, it's loungy, like I said, torchy kind of version. I think it's really cool.
And you know what's really neat is she is very much, for those who don't know her or do know her, she's very much a Christian singer.
Oh, okay. Yes, I didn't know that.
And so she sings a lot of Christian-related songs. And when I heard this version, I go, oh my gosh, I never really listened to this song from a standpoint of how it could be applied and made into almost like a religious song. And I'm like, wow, it really does. When you read the lyrics out, I'm like, wow. So it's really on brand for her, even though that wasn't, I'm sure, the intent of the original song. Yeah.
And one of the comments we just put up was, it puts out Sade vibes. I like this version a lot. I agree with that. I couldn't think of it. You have never listened to Sade?
Sade. I thought you meant like sad at first. I didn't see the E.
Oh my gosh, Amanda
Oh
Sharp.
My.
Sade is...
I can't wait to listen.
I know we kind of keep the show. We keep the show very PG.
Oh,
Sade is.
Oh, I didn't think it was going there. I thought it was going to be jazz.
It's jazzy. It's torchy, but it's like that's the music you throw on when you.
Bound chicka brown brown.
That's it. It is Sade. She's got an absolutely beautiful voice, but that is
interesting.
That is some good music right there. But yeah, Sade is. But yeah, listen to some. I can't believe you never listened to Sade.
Well, maybe I have.
I think you have. She's got some really big songs. If you listen to Sade.
Anyway, I'm sure I have. Interesting. I can't wait.
Getting back to Kristen Daigle though, so I did not know she was a Christian artist. So that's actually interesting to know. But I like this version of the song. I think it was really cool of her to do. This was recorded, I believe, in 2019. And like I said, she did it for Spotify singles. So it was a special thing. And I think she was out recording it live. Like I said, I've got some versions I'm going to post in our group. But just a little bit about the song. So the original of this song, written by Crowded House, and it was written by lead singer Neil Finn, who, a couple of years ago went out on tour with Fleetwood Mac when Lindsey Buckingham didn't. He chose not to go back out with the band. He explained in an interview with Goldmine that I wrote that song on my brother's piano. I'm not sure if I remember what the context was exactly, but it was just about on the one hand feeling kind of lost, and on the other hand sort of urging myself on. Don't dream it's over. That one actually fell out literally without me thinking about it too much. So that is a little bit of the background of the song. And, I think everybody has heard the original version, I think. But if not, check out the Crowded House version, which I love the song. I think it's a great song. And I really, really enjoy her version of the song. I think it's very cool. 4 records for me. I'm going to give it 4 records because I like that. Not only did she cover the song, but she put a spin on it, which I could hear it now, but she made it into this torchy version, like bossa nova, like I like it. So I dig it. 4 records for me.
Look at that. I'm so excited. I threw this one on just because
you liked it.
Yeah, to mix up my list a little bit too. Very good. I take it. And I can't wait to research Sade.
Sade,
wingy.
Sade.
All right. Chris, your third song. Keep on running. Yeah. By Anthrax. So
originally done by Journey.
Confession, I don't think I've ever had heard this song before.
So man, I had this on. I was cranking this in the headphones before Amanda came on, and she signed on, and she saw me rock it out, and I was like, I wish I could sing like this. I wish I had a singing voice, and not only could I sing, but sing like I wish I could do it.
I think you can.
I cannot.
So I had never heard the original.
Okay. It's very, very faithful to the original version. Did you go and listen to the original?
I did, because I was like, maybe they just really switched up the cover so much that I just didn't know I knew this song. And then I went to go listen to it, and I hadn't heard it before. Did this chart?
No, so this actually, the original version of this actually, that's a great question. Let me check that, because I actually...
Because I'm really surprised.
So I will say Keep on Running itself, it is a fan favorite off of the Escape record, because I'll tell you, I had Journey's Escape on cassette back in the day, and I mean, and this is when I was, when it came out, and I wore that cassette out. I absolutely love that record. I think that when we talk about perfect records, Journey Escape is a perfect record. I don't think Keep on Running was released as a single. It's more of an album cut. Yeah, I don't see it. I'm on that thing. I don't see it released as a single. It may have been released as maybe an end of
that would make sense.
But as far as the album cycle goes, I don't think. But it's more of an album cut. But man, it is a rocker of a song on this, which is already to me a rockin' record. I mean, Escape. I already Open Arms. I mean, obviously, Don't Stop Believing. I mean, huge hits on that record. But as a rock record, hard rock record. That song, I mean, Stone and Love. Oh my God, just there are so many great songs on this record. So, and Keep on Running was always for me a favorite. And so Anthrax, a few years back, did a covers record, just playing stuff from their favorite artists, stuff they've always talked about. So they do AC/DC, they do Boston, some Thin Lizzy, they do Rush, they do some Cheap Trick, but they did what I liked is they picked some songs that were a little more album cut stuff. And Keep on Running, a Journey song, is one of those songs that they put on it. So it's called Anthems. It was released in 2013. And actually the singer, Joey Belladonna from Anthrax.
Love that name.
He's such a Journey fan. He actually now has a Journey cover band that goes and plays. So they play out, and so in between when Anthrax not touring, he does a Journey cover band, tribute band.
Oh, I love that.
And they do old Journey songs, and I've seen some videos of it, and it's outstanding because obviously you can hear that he can hit those Steve Perry notes.
Well, very much.
Yeah.
I would say this is very similar to the original. It really.
Yeah.
When I listened to both, I was like, had I known this song, I would have really maybe had a hard time really rating the differences.
Yeah, the original version. I mean, just to give everybody a quick sample. I mean, this is the original. I mean. It's a pretty faithful cover.
Yeah.
But I think with a song like this, it's hard to kind of rearrange it more and the thing is because it's sort of an album cut already, it's not a song that everybody, mainstream wise is super familiar with. So but I like that they did an Anthrax faithful version of it.
So and then play the Anthrax version again.
Okay.
If you don't mind. Sorry to be bossy.
That's okay. I'm used to it.
I mean, it's really...
Yeah. It's pretty similar. But it's good. Updated.
Yeah. I think I like both versions equally, if I'm being honest.
I could see it. I mean, I just think it's a great it's just a good hard rock song. It cuts.
Yeah, and this is the kind of hard rock Amanda's okay with. It's not crazy or anything,
It's not Cookie Monster vocals.
It's not Cookie Monster vocals. It's just the normal, what you would expect with some maybe hard rock.
Yeah, it's good 80s hard rock. Really good. Because I mean, it's Journey and Steve Perry. It's just great,
Give us some wigs to
soaring vocals no.
Very impressive. It is very impressive. So I really like the beats. It's a fun song. And so I can't really compare it or rate it to the previous version really because I didn't know it up until really today or yesterday when I was diving into it. Although listening to them side by side right now is very interesting to me. So I would say I don't love it, but I don't dislike it. So I'm going to throw it in at a 3.5.
3.5. Okay.
Is that okay? 3.5?
Is that how you feel, Amanda?
That's how I feel right now.
That's how you feel. So I respect your feelings.
Thank you for respecting my feelings.
I respect your feelings. Listen, I 3.5. I mean, hey, listen, I think it's, for you not knowing the song and it's kind of a little out of your category. Yeah. I think that's respectable. So 3.5. I will accept your 3.5 with respect, with respect and love. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
Yeah. Tony checking. Gotta love Joey Belladonna's voice. Yeah, it is one of the best metal voices in all of metal.
I love that name.
I know, Joey
what
Belladonna.
A name. Yeah.
Joey Belladonna.
Yeah, it just sounds so authoritative-ish. Is that a word?
It is now.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. Authoritative-ish.
Add a ish to anything and you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. All right. So your final song we'll be discussing today is, here, let me get it queued up, is the Carrie Underwood version of I Told You So, the Randy Travis song, which I will be honest with you, Amanda, you know, not being a country fan, if you had I would have never known this was a cover song ever. But, you know, far be it from you to not put any country on this playlist.
True.
I know you're a big Carrie Underwood fan. Mm-hmm. I think that she has an outstanding voice. Not always my cup of tea, but I agree she's got a ridiculous voice.
Talent.
Like, she's a big talent. I agree.
And another American Idol. Look at that.
That's right, another American Idol. Yeah, look at that. 2 American Idol tunes making the list. Yeah. She's got a fantastic voice. And I will say, if not knowing this is a cover, I actually really enjoyed the song. It kind of gave me some, like, just, you know, power ballad vibes kind of a feel. But the Randy Travis version, which I had never heard before, was first recorded for his 1983 live record called Live at the National Palace under his stage name at the time of Randy Ray. It was a local hit for him, and then Randy Travis re-recorded it for his Always and Forever record and released it as a single. His rendition was a #1 hit on Billboard country charts, peaking in June of 1988 and spending 2 weeks at the position. So that is incredible. By the way, the song, just so you know, is the narrator poses a hypothetical situation asking how his lover would react if he said he wanted to come back home, and he asks if she would stay. He asks if she would say yeah, and live them, or simply laugh at him and say I told you so because she has found someone else. So it's a bittersweet country.
Listen, friends, it can happen.
Country themes here. Country themes. So her version, which is the one that we're talking about now, was released as a cover, obviously, and on her song, on her record of 2007 called Carnival Ride. It was a 5th and final single released from the record. Her version of the song was featured on the album Now That's What I Call Country Volume 2, and her version has been certified platinum by the Record Industry Association of America. That is it. So real quick, just to compare, because I you know, I've got my what I think. So I will tell you that I did listen to the original version of this song, and I know it was a big hit.
So
I gotta tell you, Carrie Underwood's version is really good.
So I didn't know I needed Carrie's version because I was content with Randy's version until I heard Carrie's version. And I was like, that's a gift. I like this.
I can respect that this was a #1 hit. I just not doing it for me. I'm not saying it's a bad song. It's not, you know, once again, not my thing. But I do enjoy the Carrie Underwood version. I think the Carrie Underwood version's really good. I like it for something that I, you know, would have never known was a cover song. It was cool. I would never skip. I wouldn't skip it. I would not skip it if it came on. It's not skippable territory.
You would skip Randy's.
I would skip Randy's.
It's totally fair.
I think I would skip the Randy, and not because it's a bad song, just because it's not my thing so much. Like, I was kind of trying to get into it. I don't know. Might be a little. See, there's certain like country voices. Like I'm like, this is really good, and then there's other ones that are just like, it just doesn't hit me. His voice just doesn't hit me. Like, truly.
I think some people would think it's more whiny, a whinier man's voice.
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I didn't think about whiny. I just feel like it's not. I'm not connecting with it.
I do enjoy their duet together. They actually sing it together, and it plays off of each other very, very well because obviously, like, they're having a conversation, which is kind of how the song is written. And that, I feel like his voice,
I didn't listen
believe
to
it or
that
not,
version.
sounds okay with Carrie's, which you would not think would mesh very well, but
Did
it
not
works.
listen to that version.
It really, really works. And this is not a song I have karaoke'd, but when I'm alone in my car, I like to belt it.
You belt it, don't you?
I belt it. Really clears the vocal cords,
Right.
burns that energy. Helps me like get walked off a ledge.
Right. I want to see Belton Since You've Been Gone, but the A Day to Remember version.
Like, since you've been gone, I'll read it.
Since You've Been
read
Gone.
it. I'll read it like a poem. I don't think I could. I mean, I could belt it. I just wouldn't
Right.
have fun belting that.
Right,
song.
right. I mean, I like I said, I actually didn't listen to the duet version. I just listened to her cover of it. But I really like it a lot. I think it's cool. So I'm going to give it a 3.6.
3.6. Well, would you look at that?
3.6 records. It's a good song. I like her voice. It's not my favorite, but I think it's good, and I definitely like it better than the original. In my opinion, not being a huge country fan, which I know maybe some traditional country fans may balk at that, but I think she took a song that was like, good and made it better.
I always wonder what the mentality is behind people choosing the cover songs that they choose to cover. Had they just sung it as a kid and was like, oh, if I'm ever famous, I'm going to sing this song.
Yeah,
because I know I could have a list of 10 pretty easy.
It's really possible. I mean, you listen to so many things. Like we were talking about the Pearl Jam story. Like he found the song in a record store, listened to it, got obsessed with it, and was like, I want to do a I think some artists are just like, this is a song I've always been a fan of, or they hear a song and are like, wow, I really have to do it. Or, sometimes it's written by somebody like we know is like the original is like, hey, it's good, but it wasn't a hit. But then like the artist who's like, takes that song and makes it a hit song. I mean, that's happened so many times over the years. Like, there's like the Edna Swap version of Torn, which we know, like, I'm already torn, and like the Natalie Imbruglia version was like a huge like #1 hit, but like the Edna Swap version, which is the original version, was kind of like a darker, like kind of grungier like version, which I like. It's darker, but like then all of a sudden they take it and they make it pop and it's like becomes a huge hit. So it's like you get that like thing where artists take songs and like do like their spin on it and it becomes a massive hit, whereas like the original may not have really been that big of a hit,
Yeah. It's fun. I love hearing everyone's takes if you just go down the rabbit hole of listening to cover songs.
Yeah.
It's really fascinating to see how everyone does their
versions. I agree. So Ashley Feller checking in with, there's a tremendous difference in drama brought to a song when you weigh the cover against the original. She definitely played it up a lot, and that's probably what did it for folks. And she's speaking about where it's the Carrie Underwood version versus the Randy Travis version of that song. So yeah, I mean, maybe, actually it's a really good observation, and I didn't think about it that way. So, and it could be. I mean, her vocals and obviously her and Randy are like different sides of the spectrum as far as singing goes. So, maybe that is what's doing it for me. I can't put my finger on it, but I think I just prefer it, and I think it's a better, in my eyes or my ears, I should say, not my eyes, but in my ears, I think it's a better version.
My ears.
Yeah, my ears. So, by the way, Tony Donald checking in with, I'm a big Carrie Underwood underwear fan. Underwear fan. I'm making a joke. There we go. My goal every time I get to participate in the live show is to get Amanda to make that I'm not going to laugh at that look on her face.
I have no poker face. I really don't. It's, if I play cards, I immediately giggle if I've got a good hand.
You do.
It's so stupid.
And Josh Parr checking with talking about Joey Belladonna from Anthrax. Joey rules. I was at a show and a dude was wearing a GoPro in his helmet in the pit, and Joey grabbed it, put it on, and did 2 to 3 songs with it on before he gave it back. That's cool.
I love that.
Yeah, Anthrax has always been a great. I mean, I love them so much. They're actually playing here in New Jersey again in a couple weeks, and I've seen them so many times. I think going all the way back to I was like 16 years old. I think I've seen Anthrax like. They're just one of my favorite metal bands of all time.
You go to so many concerts. I can count less than like the 5 fingers I have on one hand, how many concerts I've went to.
You know, I also feel like too, in my area, it's a lot easier to go see a show than where you are. I don't know. I don't know,
think
like,
that's a
because
really
I
good
think
point.
Detroit probably gets a lot of shows, but I know you're not driving to Detroit to go.
No.
I mean, is
I
that the
have.
closest city to you?
It basically where concerts will come to. So yes.
Right.
Which is not, it's like 50 minutes, an hour, depending on traffic. It's not that bad, but
Right.
you know, it seems so far away when you go to get into the vehicle
And you come home late.
and it's the coming home late. Like,
I
can't they
agree
do
with you.
concerts like Sunday mornings, Sunday
No.
afternoons?
No, who's ready to rock in Sunday morning?
I mean, well, my concerts, it's more laid back and chill.
When I come out there, we're going to a concert.
Okay.
Or when you come out here.
Can you drive?
Sure. I'll drive. I don't care.
We're gonna have so many things to like bucket list when
Yeah.
you come.
Yeah, we're going to a show. You should come out here because
That would be, yeah.
you should absolutely. Well, listen, we'll have to swap. We'll swap locations.
And then miss each other again.
Yeah.
No, what we should do is find something to do in New York City, and then everyone can come.
Well, that's easy enough to do.
And because there's always going to be stuff to do there.
So book your trip to New York City.
Let's-
Actually, you always have a place to stay here, so just come here.
Well, thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Everyone at Chris's house.
That's right. That is right. So before we wrap up the show, I do just want to share what was going on in the Song Swap Showdown Facebook group, because we did post which cover songs you think are better than the original. So we got a bunch of comments. So I just wanted to share some of these because I thought these were really cool. So we had our one of our friends, Heather, check in with, I do like the Cramps version of Goo Goo Muck much better than the original Ronnie Cook version. So, and obviously everybody knows right now Goo Goo Muck is having an extraordinary resurgence due to appearing in Wednesday on Netflix. In that now like extremely viral dance scene, which I think was viral the second it came out, but which I think is great because the Cramps were an amazing band that I'm so glad so many people are discovering. But I do agree. I think the Cramps version is better than the Ronnie Cook version, Heather. Kevin Vaglio, my brother, checking in with, it's a really close between the Dio original version of Holy Diver, but he really enjoys Kill Switch Engage's version of Holy Diver. So I love Ronnie James Dio, like love him, love him, love him. I think that Kill Switch Engage did a really good, faithful version of Holy Diver. I agree. I think that is good.
I'm just proud I know Kill Switch Engage.
Yeah, yes, you do.
And that's brag.
Yeah, not the brag. Ashley Feller with Here You Come Again by Dolly Parton, and it was written by Barry Mann and Cynthia Whale.
Yes.
So she likes that version better than the
Read.
original. Let's see, Josh Parr with I Got a Couple. He's got Imagine, covered by Perfect Circle versus the Beatles version. I Will Survive by Cake versus Gloria Gaynor version. And Easy by Faith No More versus the Commodores. So, and I love the Faith No More version of Easy. I'm going to have to share that with you, Amanda, because I think
Yes.
you would really, really love that. Mr. Tony Deno checking in with a bunch here. Throwdown with Baby Got Back, originally done by Sir Mix-a-Lot. Red Hot Chili Peppers we were talking about, their version of Higher Ground, originally done by Stevie Wonder. I love the Stevie Wonder version, but yeah, I love what Red Hot Chili Peppers did with Higher Ground. I think that's an outstanding cover song that they did. And you know, quite frankly, more people should be covering Stevie Wonder because
Yes.
genius songwriting. Upon a Burning Body with Ice-T, Turned Down for What by DJ Snake and Lil Jon. Burden My Surrender by doing Poker Face, originally done by Lady Gaga. Christian Kane, Looking Back, Texas, originally done by Waylon Jennings. And Excel doing Message in a Bottle, originally by The Police. A couple other friends checking in. Chris McManus, Framing Hanley's Lollipop, original version was done by Lil Wayner. Freedom of Choice by Psychotica, and All Along the Watchtower by Hendrix. So Along the Watchtower, great version. It was what we were talking about before. Bob Dylan originally did that, and Jimi Hendrix like made it his own, where you don't even realize it's a cover song. And my friend Tina checking in with I Will Survive by Cake. So that's 2 appearances by I Will Survive by Cake. Don't Know Why, Nora Jones, and It's My Life by No Doubt.
I love Nora Jones there. Whew.
So great comments, and if that post is in there, so please let us know what your favorite cover version, which ones are better than the original. Let us know. Go join our Facebook group and participate in that. We also have some polls we put up on Instagram, so if you're listening, go over to Instagram and do some voting, because we took some of the songs from today's show and put them up there to vote on which version you think is better. And I'll take those and put them in the Facebook group as well, because we want to know from you, which version do you think was better?
Love it.
Love it.
Like, such a fun show, as always.
As always.
And I can't get out of my head that I'm going to learn how to skank.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to. We're definitely doing that reel.
I think after this show, we should do a recording of you teaching me, and we'll probably paste that into the Facebook group.
Yeah, we'll have to put that in there.
Just for our Facebookers.
Yes, just for the Facebookers. Exactly.
That will lead up to the end product of the reel.
Exactly. Get skanky, Amanda.
Get skanky. I never in my life.
Good stuff. Well, we want to thank everybody so much for hanging out with us today. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Song Swap Showdown. We appreciate all the time that you give to us and spend with us as we rate and review our picks each and every week. So please make sure if you want to watch the live version and participate in the live version, check back with us here on Mondays at 8:15 a.m. over on Facebook and Twitch. And you can watch all video replays and video highlights that we make over on YouTube. Please join our Facebook group too, where we also put exclusive content in there as well. All completely free. All you have to do is just join the group and you can participate and hang out with us in there. And of course, please follow the show wherever you get podcasts, because it does help the show get found. When you hit that little follow button, it sends you a notification whenever we drop a new episode of the show, and it helps grow the show. So please do that for us. We appreciate you. Follow and share the show, because, sharing is caring.
Yes, it is.
Sharing is caring. Amanda Sharp, any final words?
What a fun show. Thank you so much for all the engagement. We love it so much, and it makes the show, it takes it to the next level. So just thank you all for participating.
Also, thank you to Dave Mattingly, who is a huge supporter of the show as well, and contributes every single month to our membership. So thank you, Dave. Big shout out to you. And thanks, Josh, Ashley, Tony, Forkboy Donato, Randall, Mark, Sean, a few other people, just as Facebook user, John Pica for checking in. We've had a lot of great people hanging out with us today. So appreciate you all for spending your Monday morning with us. That's it, folks. That's the show.
Such a good one.
Nothing left to say. All right. We'll see everybody next week. See you guys. Have a great rest of the week.
Bye, everyone.
To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.